Hey Bills fans and Vikings fans, winter is upon us. And to celebrate, we're going to do the very first Bills pregame show outside in the elements. Hello and welcome to the Bills pregame show versus the Vikings. Okay, we'll do it inside.
Hi, welcome to the Bills pregame show for Week 13 against the Vikings. Alright, top story, Bills fans. Can the Bills spoil the Vikings season? Now, I know about this question. Their season's kind of already spoiled. Can the Bills, so what do you guys think about that?
The season's already spoiled. It's rotten. You have a fired coach, a decaying quarterback, and, an injured running back as well as a banged-up defense. I don't know what more the Bills can really spoil.
All right. Yeah, anything else?
I'm the same thing with you. I mean, do they even still have a chance to make the playoffs even if they win out?
Probably not.
I kind of think the Bills are going to win. So can we spoil their season? Yes.
All right. Do we want to win?
Yeah.
To quote a bunch of great coaches, including Herm Edwards, you play the game to win.
Of course we want to win. We will not pay a top 10
What about
draft
draft pick?
We won't pay a top 10 draft pick.
I disagree with that.
Well, that's just it, though. With the lockout, you don't know who's actually going to be there and who's not anyway. So if you have those high underclassmen, might not be there next year. So you play the game to
I think
win.
we
and you rely on your scouting department. Trust your scouting department to do their job.
All right. And now it's time for the offensive breakdown. Okay, Fitz and Fred. You scored at least one touchdown a game will this happen? I think they're going to score a lot.
Well, I'll quote Beavis and Bud just for great sake. We're never going to score! We're never going to score! Ah!
They're going to score. I mean, Fred's been having a pretty good couple of weeks. The season's pretty decent. So I think they're going to score. I don't think they're going to have a problem scoring. They haven't, so far. So what will stop them now? Defense just hasn't been doing their job. So they haven't had a problem scoring.
All right. What's the impact of Jared Allen? Okay, Justin, what do you think about that?
All right, well, Jared Allen, him in and of himself is a great player. The Vikings D-line is a great line.
Are the Williams brothers healthy?
The Williams brothers, the Smothers brothers themselves, not so much. They're a little banged up, including Fat Pat. Ray Edwards is a good DN. He's hurting too. So you got to see what's the drop-off between their starters and their backups, and naturally there's going to be a drop-off there. So that would be a big thing, and I would say Demetrius Bell not giving up a sack this year, that's huge. So let's see if that continues.
All right, now it's time for the defensive breakdown. All right, Dwan Edwards got injured last game, and now we have to face Adrian Peterson. So
Who's been hurt as well.
But if played, it could be a big game changer. So Nakia, what do you think about the defensive breakdown?
With us, all you got to do is rush Brett Favre. If we can get a good pass rush going, then I think he'll throw the ball in the ground and interceptions just like he does every other game. The Bills haven't had that many interceptions this year. What do we have? One, maybe two?
No, they had two in the Cincinnati game alone.
Yeah, but
so
I'd
say they have three at least.
Okay, they might have three. I mean, with Brett Favre, they could double that total in a game. So all they got to do is keep the pass rush going.
They could probably triple that.
I think they could. The pressure they put on the Steelers was crazy good, and I just think that for that reason that they're going to do pretty good against the Vikings. All right, now it's time for the Bills' topic of discussion. It comes from Randy Williams. All right, topics of discussion. What part of this season made you mad the most? All right, first one, Ryan Lindell missing his second overtime field goal attempt to win the Kansas City game. Number two, Stevie Johnson dropping the ball last week. Or number 3, the Bills defeating Detroit and Cincinnati to lose tiebreakers for the first overall pick. All right, I'm just going to dismiss the third one first because I don't think it really matters. Cincy, I don't think, or Detroit are going for a quarterback. You guys probably agree with that.
Yeah, I would probably say Ryan Lindell because that was probably the beginning of when we probably could have started winning. That was the game. Wasn't that the game before the Baltimore game?
Yeah.
That was like the first game where they figured, okay, they can win this game, and if they would have won that game, they probably could have went on a run because they would have started the gel. Just like when they won the first game, they won another game. This game was winnable too. So I think that was probably the one for me.
You know what? Honestly, I think all 3 of those are crap.
Yeah.
Simply, in probably most of those games, maybe not the Detroit one because Dick Duran would have found a way to win that, but on any Dick Duran team, those teams wouldn't have been in it. The Cincinnati game where they came back from 17 down, they would have folded. Those overtime games, they would have lost on the first drive. So I'm not exactly, I got to take the positive there. So, not to mention, you're talking about quarterbacks. I don't think the Bills need to draft a quarterback.
No.
Fitzpatrick's young.
Well, I'm just saying,
doing
if
pretty
you're talking
well
about
this
that, yeah.
year. I'd say
Detroit
he's
doesn't need a quarterback either.
But
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's just it. You don't
That's why it
need to
doesn't
talk
matter.
about
Yeah.
quarterback. Quarterback, come on.
All right, we'll have that discussion in a second. I just want to say that mine is number 2, Stevie Johnson Jr. That was just heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking.
And him doing his tweet with
Blame God.
yeah.
Well, you know what? That was indirect and out of context.
I know, but at the same time, him kind of bragging like the week before, like with Batman and Robin and everything. Why so serious? It kind of put it into context.
Well,
but I also
he's
am glad
humble
that he's such a good. He's so cocky. I'm glad we have a cocky receiver in Buffalo again.
Well,
Not
5
too.
drops, but yeah.
But still, okay.
What?
All right, we're gonna have this discussion right now. We were thinking quarterback, offensive line, defensive player, and we were talking about before the show we should do a defensive player. And now, Justin, tell me why we should do a defensive player over a quarterback and offensive line.
Offensive line, they've been pretty solid. Even with Wood down this past week, they played well. Demetrius Bell has not given up a sack. Fitzpatrick has thrown over 20 touchdowns. Last quarterback to even come close to that, I think, is
Is he not a franchise quarterback, but he's a solid quarterback for the next 3 to 4 years? Because honestly, I don't think they're going to be in the playoffs next year or the year after.
You know what? We'll wait and see on that. But you can't be last and run year after year. You need to have the guys that can stop it. So you need to have those outside backers, those inside backers, those DNs that aren't getting it done right now. I mean, Marcus Stroud, loved him when he first came here, but he's been getting old and frail. So you need to draft those guys up the middle.
All right, Nakia, so you're thinking defensive probably too, or what are you thinking?
I used to think O-line, but I think the problem with our offensive line is that they're not a cohesive bunch. There's always somebody
They're so
down.
young, yeah.
So that too, and they don't really know how to play together because there's always a missing link somewhere.
But this
Lately
year's
they've
been
been
better,
playing.
yeah.
They've been playing good. So I mean, I think if we give them some time, they may match. But I'm with you on the run. People run all over us like crazy. So I think I'm switching over to the defensive side. That we need to find a way to stop them.
Not to mention, we don't have a true pass rusher besides Kyle Williams.
People don't respect our defense. They'll go on fourth and anything at any time of the game. It's not like it's a crucial
As long as they're
period.
not running Kyle
Yeah.
Williams or set.
They'll go. They don't respect our run game. So I'm kind of with you on that one, Justin.
Yeah.
All right, so draft defense. All right, now it's time for the keys and picks of the game. My key to the game is don't drop balls because that was just infuriating. What's yours?
My key to the game is pass rush.
All right, and what's yours?
My key to the game is not letting Sean draft a quarterback.
Okay, that's not part of this game. Okay. All right, and picks the game. I'm picking the Bills to win 30-26. What about you?
I'm picking the Bills 28-17.
And you?
27-14, the Bills.
All right, so we're all picking the Bills, and hopefully, not everybody's here, but okay. Thank you for joining us this week. Join us next week for the home game against the Browns. See you later.